Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another update on my terrain square circle, my little Necron Stonehenge as I'm calling it. First of all, I've been really enjoying everyone's videos and progress so far. Some really awesome projects out there. So well done everyone. And also to say, don't forget to go and check out Inside Out Terrain's Facebook page, please. The link is in the description below. Of course, they are sponsoring this competition this year, so thank you so much for that from you guys. Okay, so yes, I've been working on my circle. So I don't know if you can see that there. Let me just zoom in a bit. So I've been working on the sand basically, just around the edges. So I've gone in and I've PVA'd on some sand, just going around the edges there. I've gone in and put some little bits of sand sort of going up some of the grooves as well, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I did that afterwards. I went in with a smaller brush, put some PVA in the little grooves and then put some sand on. So it's looking pretty cool. I'm quite happy with how that's looking. I've also done some other work, so let me just show you that. Right, so yeah, first of all, these little barricades that I got from TT Combat. I did mention that I thought they were pretty tall and probably would totally hide a model. So I've double checked that and I am totally correct. So here is a Necron Immortal, puts him behind, and of course the camera angle is quite high, but from tabletop level, if I can get down there, there you go, totally hidden. So yeah, fine, that's fair enough. I mean, I don't mind some terrain like that. But in the last video I also mentioned that I had some laser cut card barricades, and I've proceeded and I've built those. So I've got 4, and these are actually much lower. So they are like that, which are, well, obviously you can clearly see, you can see the models quite easily there. So I made those. Now these here are from the laser cut card barricade set, which I do already have, but these are the prototype ones. So they have they have basically a more complicated little image on here. Now it's fair to say I haven't actually finished this because it comes with a load of little small circles which are supposed to go in these little holes here. But I'm thinking I don't really need that. I'm thinking it looks pretty good as it is. So I don't know what you guys think, but I think it looks pretty cool without those little circles on there. It's certainly going to be a lot easier to paint than having to paint around all the little circles. So I'm going to stick with that. I put a link to Laser Cut Card's website. Basically it's like a cyborg defense line, like a Necron defense line, which is what I use my other ones for. But I thought it'd be really interesting to make this piece of terrain have different height barricades. So that is my plan. So let me just move this guy out and I'll just show you what my plan is. So my plan is to have these barricades here, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in between them to have these barricades. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So when your men go in, they have an option of maybe trying to totally hide someone. If you have maybe a sergeant or something you just want to hide in a unit, and then the other guys can go over this area and still shoot and be shot at. So I thought that makes quite an interesting piece of terrain, something a little bit different certainly than what I've already got. And of course the idea being that I can still put my centerpiece in. So for example, say this obelisk would look pretty cool, or maybe my pylon, like so. So I can have like a centerpiece in there, and of course the men can still get in and move around inside the piece of terrain. So it's quite a workable piece of terrain, and of course my idea is to have lots of different centerpiece options to really make this piece of terrain very interesting and different each game. Right, so I know originally I said that I was going to just have all of these loose maybe, but I've decided that probably isn't a very good idea. I think it's a good idea from the point of view that I can store this piece of terrain quite easy, and maybe a good idea from the point of view that I could possibly change the piece of terrain a little bit more. So for example, I could, I don't know, maybe take these off and maybe have the bigger barricade around one side, maybe have the smaller barricades around the other side, like that, possibly. You know, I could do something like that, maybe just change it around a bit. But I think the disadvantage is that this piece of terrain, if it's too loose, is going to move a lot easier. I mean, dice are maybe going to get thrown on it and move it around, you know, you might tip it over. So I'm thinking I don't really want them loose. So I have decided that I'm going to glue these pieces onto the board. And the only loose piece I'm going to have is the centre piece, so I can just basically change the centre piece around whenever I want. So I think that's going to be my next port of call as such, is to glue on all of these, and then once they're on, then I can start continuing the work on the centre pieces, like those big tubes, etc. Okay, so that is my update. Hope you like it so far. Thanks for watching, of course, as always, and I'll be back when I have some more work done.